Hi, I'm Harry Forbes from ARC Advisory Group. I'm here at the ARC Forum, and my guest right now is Andy Anderson, Director of Sales and Marketing for Dispel LLC. Andy, welcome to the Forum.
Harry, thanks for having us.
Well, it's great to have you here. Dispel is a new firm in the marketplace. Can you kind of give us some background on how you evolved and where you're headed?
Yeah, so we've actually been around since 2015, but we're kind of in stealth for a number of years before that, working on some of the technology for a few sort of signature clients. So our technology, our team's background kind of came out of the defense intelligence space. So kind of bringing some of the approaches that have been sort of advised and perfected in that sort of part of the world to kind of more commercial customers.
Okay, so your focus has been security for customers, but what is that kind of evolving to these days?
Yeah, so I think, the best security products really are ones that people use, right? And there's always kind of this balance between usability and security. And I think when we certainly try and make sure that the products that we develop and the solutions that we provide our customers are the easiest way for them to get their job done. And then there's really nice security going on in the background behind it. So, maybe that our CEO is a former user experience designer. So it's sort of every time we're thinking about what is the experience like for the user and making sure that it's really simple for them to do whatever their job is. Then you've got, all the nice security things happening in the background.
Okay, and what kind of, I know of a lot of people's experience with security is not always that pleasant, but what kind of benefits do people get with a different security model or more advanced and modern security technology?
I mean, I think one is that you're not seeing a ton of it. I mean, the encryption, the sort of tunneling, the sort of checking of your authentication that you are who you are happens quite easily and simply. You're not going through like 7 different passwords, but maybe you're going through a single time where you're authenticating yourself, and then typically a multi-factor as well. So we're all familiar with these when we something on your phone typically, or maybe a key fob, right? But making that a utilization that's both very simple for the user but also quite secure. And that's just sort of being thoughtful about how you do it.
Okay. One of the things that we see in the automation space that I personally cover is a lot more IT being built into the automation system. So we're seeing kind of, and my prediction is IT-OT convergence on steroids in that space. What do you anticipate for security and the convergence there?
Yeah, so I think the sort of intersection of IT and OT is really interesting, partly because you just have very different life cycles of the different pieces of equipment and the systems. Sort of OT, operational technology, if it's well made, has a life cycle of 20, 30 years potentially. Whereas IT classically, if you have a phone that's 3 or 4 years old, it's smoking when you take it out, right? So those two, making sure that you're thoughtful about knowing that there will be obsolescence in parts of your system and designing for it. So I think we heavily use virtualization technology, so essentially the ability to build components that are used and then thrown away. I mean, when you buy a car, you expect to change the tires, to change the windshield wipers, even different parts of it, and that's because the expectation of different life cycles. And I think as you're seeing more of that intersection and thoughtful design, you're going to start to see folks think about pieces that are going to get unplugged and plugged back in, knowing that there will be an update in technology.
Absolutely, and I see that becoming an issue for all kinds of suppliers of OT, because the OT products are becoming much more software and network intensive, and they're confronting similar kinds of issues. Can you talk a little bit more about how you deal with that from a software company, if you will? How you manage that?
Yeah, so our core technology is really to network different devices and different pieces of equipment over the internet, but we do that using encryption, using virtualization technology to essentially create a network that is your own network, a single tenant architecture that is for a specific client, even for a specific team or project within that client. So rather than, classically the internet was, it really came out of, much more trusted parties. It was your buddies at the different universities. So there wasn't this idea that somebody malicious in the middle was going to do it. And so the history of that, the sort of much more collegial, isn't the world anymore. So now you have to know and understand every piece that you're touching, not only the ends of that connection, but also in between them too. And so essentially what our technology is we provide all of those nodes along the way. And we do it in a way that you control them, but also that they're moving and shifting. So it's come out of the defense intelligence academia. It's called moving target defense. That idea, literally what it sounds like. You're just constantly shifting.
Moving around. Okay, just one more question, Andy.
Sure.
In terms of, since this is your first time here at the ARC Forum, what could we kind of expect from you guys as a direction? What kind of things are you expecting to be working on, say, in the next year?
Yeah, so I think what's been really fun is to kind of hear all the sort of unique challenges that the folks are handling here, and I think this group is incredibly sort of open to new ideas, and they have tons of issues that they're dealing with, and so how do you sort of apply some of these new approaches, new technologies to solve them in a way that makes their life easier as security people or as network people, but also the frontline workers as well. And I don't think they are always in contrast. I think you actually, when you design things well, when you get all of the parties together talking about what really needs to happen, you can actually have things that are easier to use and more secure.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for the conversation, Andy.
Harry, thanks so much.
This is Harry Forbes from ARC Advisory Group, and my guest has been Andy Anderson from Dispel LLC. Thank you very much for watching.